Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you are watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, there is an opinion poll that was launched by Kenyans.co.ke, and in that opinion poll, they were looking for the reaction or views from people from East Africa on who can be the best leader among the presidents in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and Rwanda to lead East Africa if it was just to be a one country. So I never paid a close attention to that opinion poll until when I saw one of the Ugandan respected veteran leader, of course Kizza Besigye, reacting to that tweet is when I paid a close attention. So first of all, I want us to go through that tweet and then understand why people have voted the way they have done so. Let me just read it. If East Africa were to be led by one person, who would it be? 1. Ruto. 2. Yoweri Museveni. 3. Samia Suluhu. 4. Paul Kagame. You can see their photos are there. This is how they have voted. William Ruto, 34%. Yoweri Museveni, 9%. Samia Suluhu, 14%. Paul Kagame, 43%. That means Paul Kagame has won that opinion poll. Then William Ruto, Suluhu, and Museveni at the last. Now, in this opinion poll, is about 36,524 people who have voted. It is 1 day ago. So that is the people who have voted, and it attracted more than 70,000 views. This is what Kizza Besigye said. Interesting Twitter poll. What should we read from this? That's the question I asked. I think he was focusing on the person who was voted as the best and the one who was trailing at the last, of course, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Now, there is one question I want to ask on this punchline. Kenyans.co.ke, this page, actually, this company, is run here in Kenya. And it has been associated more with the Kenyans. That means most of the followers on this page, they are Kenyans. So the question is that, how come Paul Kagame is winning against William Ruto in an opinion poll launched in Kenya on a page that is followed more by Kenyans? That means 70% to 60 to 70% of people who have voted here are Kenyans. That's what we want to try and answer. But before we go deep into that, just a quick request. For those who are watching and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our channel subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you, and back to this discussion. Now, there is just one thing I can conclude here. William Ruto is among leaders who have been rejected by the East Africa residents. Tuseme tu hivyo. Watu wa East Africa wamekataa Ruto na hao wengine. But they see a leader in Paul Kagame. The difference between William Ruto and Paul Kagame is huge. You can see 34 and 43. A difference of almost 10%. That's a big difference. So that tells you that Paul Kagame has been voted as the best. So there are several reasons why Ruto is not the best person. And people will be asking, will be looking on the issue of age also here, because again, Ruto is the youngest, 56 years. Museveni, 78 years, the oldest. Kagame, 65. Alafu we have Samia Suluhu, 63 years. So Ruto is the youngest among this. Number one, William Samoei Ruto is in power 6 months now. But now, checking on how Ruto took over the government and how he has been running for the 6 months, No one is comfortable with William Samoei Ruto. You know, when you are taking over an office, the first thing you'll do is to make everyone happy. Then you will be introducing the other things in slowly. Hata kama ni taxes zinakuja pole pole. But Ruto just came one time and he made life difficult, uncomfortable and unbearable for anyone. Whether you are rich, whether you are poor, whether you are middle class. Amefanya maisha imekuwa ngumu kwa kila mtu. Hadi hata mtu wa middle class hawezi saidia mtu mwenye ako kwa poverty line huko chini. So because of that, Ruto has proved that he is not the best to lead people because he has lacked the humankind in him. There is no humanity in him because he is leading people who are sleeping hungry and people are dying because of hunger. But it's like he don't care. And again, he take food from this country to help other country when Kenyans don't have food here. Alipeleka Somalia, alipeleka ingine South Sudan. Na bado pia labda anapanga pia kupeleka kwingine. But if you go to Turkana, you will be surprised. And you can't understand why the president is taking food out when Kenyans are literally hungry. Number 2, because Kenyans are the most people who have voted here, and by that they are sending a strong coded message to William Ruto that they don't trust William Samoei Ruto. So the question we are asking here, if people have voted here, East Africa is not trusting Ruto, and the Kenyans are rejecting William Ruto completely, where did he got the votes? Hizo kura zenye ako nazo, anasema yeye ni president, alitoa wapi? Kenyans don't trust Ruto. If they trust him, they will be voting for William Ruto, and Ruto would have become easily a winner here. And everyone would understand, okay, this one is a platform based in Kenya with the commanding high number of Kenyans following it. So it could be understandable. But then there is a question here, and that's why the message is asking. Many Kenyans are voting for Kagame and not Ruto. So it's something questionable here. Lack of trust in William Samoei Ruto. Number 3, Ruto has no experience in governance. Despite the fact that he served for 10 years as the deputy president, he did not sit down to learn anything about governance. So Kenyans are feeling that by accident or by whichever means they have someone in office who has no any experience to do with governance. The only thing Ruto knows is politics. He's a good politician who can lie on camera, convince, confuse, and mislead the electorate to get the vote. So he gets to power through deceit. That one, he has mastered that art. But when it comes to governance, unajua, unaweza kuja kwa uongozi hata kama kwa Kibaki kwa mfano, 2007. He never won the election. Raila won. But at least there was one thing from Kibaki. He was good on governance. That one you cannot never take it from him. But for Ruto, it is the worst. In governance, totally poor. In politics, he's good. But again, he lies. So because of that, Kenyans are feeling that they don't need anyone who has no experience in governance, because that's where now the country lies. Just imagine, with the Kenyan economy, Kenya has the best economy compared to Tanzania, Uganda, and even Rwanda. But why is it that with the best economy, and then of course Kenya playing the big brother role in East Africa, that's the truth. Check on even Kenyan currency, iko sawa. And in terms of even investment, many Kenyans have invested in Tanzania, some are in Uganda, but Uganda is not stable, some are even in Kigali. Wako huko wanafanya biashara. So look at that. Poor governance. Number 4, insecurity in this country. As we are talking now, Kenyans, including our police officers, are losing their lives in Baringo County. Watu wanakufa huko. But when these people are dying, the question is, what is the president doing? Ruto is busy organizing for interdenomination prayer rallies. Watu wakikufa yeye anaomba. Badala ya kwenda huko ajue Kithure Kindiki amefikia wapi na yeye kama commander anaweza fanya nini. Amri jeshi mkuu anafanya nini. That means that Ruto cannot secure a nation. So people don't trust in him because we have insecurity in Kenya. He's not the best commander you can have in any country. Number 4, which is my last point, William Samoei Ruto is trying to change Kenya into a religious state. Kagame has never done that. Museveni has never done that. Mama Suluhu Samia has never done that. But Ruto is turning Kenya into a religion state. Until you will think that it is only Christians who are in Kenya. Situko na ndugu zetu Waislamu wako hapa. Situko na Buddhist. Situko na Hindu. Situko na hata wale wenye hawana dini. Lakini wakati umekubali kuwa president, wewe ni president ya kila mtu. Hata wazimu, wewe bado ni president yake. Hata wale wakilitimamu, wewe ni president yake. Dini zote, you are their president. But he's literally turning the country into a religion state, which is wrong. So because of that, some people are not comfortable in that kind of environment that Ruto is taking Kenyans into. And then the economy is the worst, skyrocketing price of commodities, and there's no stability in Kenya. And where we have reached, even investors are running out of the country. They are going to Rwanda, they are going to Tanzania. The only problem in Uganda is that it is not stable in terms of mambo ya biashara ya watu na nini, because on how unajua Uganda ukienda huko unapata army ndio wako kwa barabara. You know, that's so different. And because of this, I think no one is viewing William Ruto as a man to take over leadership. So this one is also leading us into another question. They have been campaigning and saying that they need young leaders to come into power. Why is it that among all these leaders, Ruto is the youngest, but again, rejected by Kenyans and by East Africa? So we can conclude and say that in this opinion poll, East Africa is rejecting Ruto, despite the fact that Kenya always plays the big brother role. Ajiulize, takuwa rafiki ya nani? Amekuwa yeye ndio bishop wa kuomba, amekuwa yeye ndio kila kitu, but people are saying no, you are not worthy, we are not ready for your leadership. Thank you so much. I would like to read your comment. And again, I want to apologize for today because I have more than 300 comments that I have never responded to because I was a little bit busy. Sorry for that, but I'm reading all of them. If I don't respond, just understand, but I'm reading all of those comments.